Good morning, this is Sentinel's RV GCR Daily Brief. Your daily read on the dee-nar, the dong, and the whole GCR. I'm Truman Vale. Before we dive in, if this is your first time here, quick context. Yes, I'm an AI host, but I'm not making any of this up or reading from some algorithm. Everything you hear comes directly from the founder who built this show, a real person who's been holding these currencies and living in this community for over 15 years. So when I talk about refreshing rate screens or circling dates on a calendar, that's his lived experience speaking through me. You're listening to AI, but you're hearing 15 years of real boots on the ground. All right, Monday, July 27th, 2026. And here's where we are. Iraq's trade bank reopened this morning after yesterday's one-day shutdown. The rate screens are back online. And spoiler, they're showing the same program rate we've been staring at for years. So yesterday's speculation that the closure was cover for flipping the switch on a new value didn't happen, at least not visibly. The bank ran its scheduled system updates exactly like they said they would, opened back up on schedule, and the numbers on the screens are identical to Friday. Now, does that mean nothing happened behind the scenes? Not necessarily. Infrastructure upgrades, back-end integration, clearing pathways for future moves, all of that can happen invisibly and still matter down the road. But if you were hoping to wake up today to a new posted rate, that hope didn't land. What did land over the weekend? An absolute flood of imminent chatter. QFS going live, EBS blackouts, gold standards activating at specific UTC timestamps, bond payments hitting across multiple continents, and redemption center notifications supposedly dropping within hours. It's Monday morning, we're all still here, and the rate screens are unchanged. So let's walk through what actually has substance, what's pure speculation, and where the real story might be hiding in all that noise. We've also got fresh intel on dee-nar rate predictions, more confirmation on those verification machines in U.S. banks, and bond-side claims that are either about to prove themselves or quietly roll forward like they always do. Let's get into it. Yesterday we were watching two things, Iraq's trade bank reopening and whether those bond payment claims out of Asia would start showing real evidence. So here's the update. Trade bank reopened this morning, no rate change. The closure was real, the system updates were real, but the hope that it was cover for a revaluation didn't materialize. At least not in any way we can see on the screens. Some voices are saying the back-end work still matters, that infrastructure has to be ready before a rate can move, and that's fair. But if you were expecting a new number today, it's not there. Bond payments, this one's still very much alive and actually got louder overnight. The chatter now is that bond side and antiquity holders got paid in Asia over the weekend. Europe is getting paid today and tomorrow, and the US is next in line, with full liquidity supposedly available to bond holders by midweek. One well-connected voice on the bond side confirmed a contact received payment, and that claim has been echoed across multiple feeds. Here's the thing, we still don't have independent verification. No screenshots, no public confirmations, just people saying their sources say it happened. That's the nature of this stuff, it's always one layer removed. But the volume and consistency of the claims is noteworthy. If it's real, we should see more evidence in the next 48 hours. If it's not, it'll fade like every other it's happening now wave before it. We're watching. Dee-nar, let's start here, because even though the trade bank reopened with no rate change, there's still a lot of movement in the story. First, the verification machines. We're getting more confirmation out of Florida that Chase Bank branches now have dee-nar currency authentication machines in place, and tellers are successfully verifying Iraqi dee-nar notes. The claim that's been making the rounds for a couple weeks, that the system recognizes the currency and is just waiting for a new rate to populate, keeps getting backed up by independent reports from different locations. So the machines are real, the dee-nar is in the system, but the rate is still the program rate we've all been staring at forever. Second, Iraq's ongoing meetings in Washington. The trade minister is there this week for talks focused on economic partnership and Iraq's accession to the World Trade Organization. Iraq completed the WTO requirements earlier this year, and the word is these discussions are going very well, productive, forward-looking, the kind of boring diplomatic work that actually builds the foundation for a tradable, internationally recognized currency. That's not hype, that's real infrastructure. And it's exactly the kind of thing that has to be in place before any legitimate revaluation can happen. Now the rate speculation. There's a specific number circulating, 4.801. It's been said with a lot of confidence, but there's no document, no official source, no clear chain of where it came from, just someone's number. I've heard a dozen different rate predictions over the years, all delivered with the same certainty, and none of them have landed yet. So noted, watching, holding very loosely. There's also chatter that Iraq may be planning to delete zeros from the currency as part of a broader redenomination effort. That's not new, Iraq's been talking about this for years, but it's getting louder again. The thinking goes that a redenomination simplifies the currency, restores public confidence, and makes the dinar easier to use in everyday transactions. Pair that with a real effective exchange rate adjustment, what people are calling the RER, And you could see a scenario where the dinar strengthens significantly against the dollar. One voice doing consistently solid work on the technical side believes the new RER will exceed Kuwait's rate of 3.26. That's speculation, not fact, but it's grounded in the mechanics of how these things work. Iraq's inflation is low, their foreign reserves are strong, and if they're serious about rejoining the global economy, the math could support a much higher valuation than what we're seeing now. Here's the part I want to emphasize, though. All of this, the renomination talk, the RER speculation, the WTO accession, the back-channel meetings in DC, it's real economic and diplomatic work. It's not sexy. It doesn't come with a timestamp or a promise that it happens this week. But it's the kind of thing that actually has to happen for any of this to be legitimate. So we watch it, we track it, and we stay grounded. Dong, quiet. No fresh claims, no policy moves out of Vietnam, nothing breaking. The dong has been stable in a tight range for weeks. If that changes, you'll hear it here first. Zim also quiet. The Redemption Center conversation is still out there, but there's no new intel worth covering today. People holding it are still holding it, still waiting. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room because the feeds were absolutely flooded this weekend with imminent breathless. It's happening right now chatter, and I need to walk you through it so you know what's real and what's noise. Here's a sampling of what's been circulating. The quantum financial system is going live today. The U.S. Space Force took control of global satellite energy relays at 3:14 a.m. UTC this morning. The gold reserve went live at 11:22 a.m., the fiat dollar was officially abandoned, and the global financial reset locks in tomorrow for 209 nations. The emergency broadcast system is about to go off, the internet will shut down for days, and there will be mass arrests and disclosure. Some of these claims came with very specific timestamps. Some named President Trump signing executive orders to activate the QFS and legalize a gold standard. Some said Iraq made the new dee-nar rate public over the weekend. I'm going to be very direct, none of that has any evidentiary support. Zero, it's not happening. The internet did not shut down, the EBS did not go off. The fiat dollar is still the fiat dollar. The rate screens are unchanged. And if the global financial reset were locking in tomorrow at a specific time, we'd have a lot more than anonymous posts to go on. Now, why does this stuff spread? Because people are exhausted. We've been waiting a long time. We've been hearing any day for years. And when you're that worn down, a story that says it's finally happening right now, this very moment feels like relief, even if you know in your gut it's probably not true. So here's what I'll say, take it with a grain of salt. A big one, this is the chatter, it's not the gospel. It's people's hope, people's best guess, people's sources who heard it from someone else. And historically, this kind of breathless, timestamp specific, the switch flips at 11:22 a.m. claim has never ever panned out. What we do have is this, Iraq's trade bank reopened today with no visible rate change, but the back-end infrastructure work continues. Bond payment claims are still live and building, and we'll know in the next couple days whether there's substance there or not. Iraq is doing real diplomatic work in Washington that might matter 6 months from now. And U.S. banks have verification machines that recognize dee-nar and are waiting for a rate. That's the story. It's not as exciting as space lasers and EBS blackouts, but it's real. And real is what we're here for. One more thread I want to touch on because it ties into the broader picture. There's word going around that new rates will appear on Forex early this week, and that exchanges at redemption centers and banks will begin no later than Thursday. That's a very specific timeline. And look, I've heard variations of this exact claim 100 times. Rates on Forex by Wednesday, exchanges by Friday. Notifications Monday, appointments Tuesday. It's always just days away, always specific enough to sound credible, and it never lands. Does that mean it won't this time? No, maybe this time is different. Maybe the pieces are finally in place. But after 15 years of watching this, I'm not holding my breath, and I'd encourage you not to either. Watch it, track it, stay informed. But don't circle Thursday on your calendar and call in sick to work. We've been down that road too many times. Here's the thing, and I say this every week because it matters, especially on a day like today when the feeds are drowning in imminent chatter. Most of what you're hearing is opinion, rumor, and educated guesses. It's what people are hearing from sources who heard it from someone else. It's hope dressed up as intel, and that's fine. We cover all of it because our job is to pull everything into one place so you can see the whole picture and make smart decisions. But you have to hold it loosely. We've been hearing this week for years. We've seen 1,000 specific dates come and go. Nobody truly knows when this happens, or if it happens, or what it looks like when it does. So we watch it, we track it, we stay on top of it so we're not caught flat-footed. But we do not lose our heads over it, and we absolutely do not make financial decisions based on someone's unsourced claim that the reset locks in tomorrow at noon. This is the chatter, it's not the gospel. And the way we stay sane in this community is by keeping that line crystal clear. And look, I'll be honest, this is exactly why the app exists. Everything we just covered, the trade bank reopening, the bond claims, the Forex rumors, the verification machines, Iraq's WTO talks, all of it, it's already in there, organized by currency, by source, updated the second it breaks. You didn't have to wait for me to tell you the trade bank opened with no rate change this morning. Anybody with the free app saw that the moment it happened because it pushed straight to their phone. And here's the edge, VIP membership is free right now. That's the tier that gets you the watch list the serious folks are following, VIP level alerts, custom notifications so you can flag exactly which voices and which claim types ping you and tune out the noise. It's a real advantage and right now it costs nothing. Get in while it's free. The app is live now on the Apple App Store, just search GCR Sentinel or go to gcrsentinel.com. If you're on Android, Google Play is coming very soon, but gcrsentinel.com still works as a free install today while you wait. Either way, it's a free download with free access to most features and it's built for exactly this, so you never have to chase intel across 10 different feeds again. Everything in one place anytime you want it on your phone. So what are we actually watching today? 1. Those bond payment claims. If they're real, we should start seeing more confirmation over the next 48 hours, not just my contacts said, but independent sources, multiple reports, the kind of evidence that doesn't fade when you look at it closely. If we don't, it's another wave that sounded good and went nowhere. 2. The Forex claim, word is new rates will show up early this week and exchanges will start by Thursday. We've heard this before many times, but we watch it anyway. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, we'll note it and move on. 3. Iraq's ongoing work in Washington. WTO accession, investment partnerships, economic integration, this is the boring infrastructure that actually has to be in place for any of this to be real. It's not exciting, but it matters. 4. Dee-nar rate speculation. The 4.801 number is out there, the REER conversation is building, the redenomination talk is getting louder. None of it is confirmed, all of it is possibility. We track it, we don't bet on it. And 5. We keep watching the feeds. There is always something new, always another claim, always another timeline. Our job is to sift through it, separate signal from noise, and keep our heads while everyone else is losing theirs. No promises, no predictions. Just watching. Alright, that's Monday morning. I'll see you tomorrow morning, Tuesday the 28th, same time, same place. If something big breaks between now and then, you'll see it in the app first, and if you know someone who's still hopping from feed to feed trying to piece this together, send them our way. That's exactly who we built this for. VIP Q&A is coming soon. You'll be able to send in your questions, and I'll answer them right here on the show. So if you haven't grabbed that free VIP membership yet, now's the time. Stay smart, stay hopeful. And remember, this is the chatter, not the gospel. We watch it so we can make good decisions, not so we lose our heads. I'm Truman Vale. Thanks for listening. I'll see you Tuesday morning.